Okay, so now we're going to talk about follow-up communication. This one is so tricky and so funny. It's I was recently talking to someone who's like, once I send you that first email and you don't respond, I just leave you alone. I'm like, you don't just leave them alone. You keep following up. And obviously, like I've mentioned, there is a sweet spot where after three follow-ups, please stop bugging them. They probably don't want the service at that time. If they haven't unsubscribed or blocked you, it means they're interested. They're just probably not ready. So there's a sweet spot between being too persistent and being too lax about it. So if you send an email cold or just any message, please follow up because life is busy. Sometimes they have intention to respond to you, but then something else takes their attention. So it helps you to be able to establish that communication again to say, oh, I'm just following up on blah blah blah, right? Okay, so one of my favorite quotes about sales is you do not close a sale, you open a relationship because it's true. At the very point where that sale is closed, a new relationship has just started, right? So never underestimate the importance of a follow up communication. You should not allow too much time to pass between making contact with your prospects and moving them forward to customer status. Communication will help you better understand them, understand your leads, and respond to their questions appropriately. And correct follow up communication is essential to success. So you need to know your leads. You need to know them. So, as we have already established, you need to understand your customer base in order to meet their needs. It is not enough to research a generic customer base. You need to get to know your individual needs. You need to gather information and then pay attention to it. And follow up communication is a perfect opportunity. Every time you follow up with a lead, take the opportunity to get to know them better. There are steps that you could take to help you do so. Okay, so track they what they look at on your website. There's already so many avenues to do that. The longer they stay on a particular page, the more it tells you they have more interest in whatever that page offers. So track what they do, how long they stay on your website, track what they look at. Then make notes about contacts, send online surveys, ask questions, use social media to understand the lead likes, and then move very quickly. And whenever you follow up with them, it's important that you move quickly. Do not allow time to lapse after making contact. Because if the customer makes first contact, respond as soon as possible. After the first discussion, you can follow up with the relevant information within 48 hours by phone, email, DM, social media, however it works for you and for them. You want to stay present in the minds of your leads. So set up a meeting as soon as possible and establish a date. Make contact with your leads regularly. This does not have to be a long personal meeting. Maintaining contact is necessary because the probability of making a sale decreases substantially 72 hours after the first meeting. So it's important to help the relationship progress without making the prospect feel rushed. So think about that timeline. Then, when it comes time to respond, you need to know how to respond because the success of sale increases greatly when initial response is made between 5 and 30 minutes of the initial communication. Because while it is important that you move quickly when responding to leads, you need to know what you are communicating. And some companies and some businesses use autoresponders to make the response immediately, but personal communication is always more effective. If you do implement auto-responses, find a system that allows you to personalize it. Because when responding to a lead, you should rely on your understanding of that person's needs. Your callback needs to be relevant to the prospect. And many people choose to base their response on scripts that they tailor for individuals. However, regardless of the method that you choose, make sure that you have the information that your leads need. And then set future meetings. Hopefully, a follow up will result in setting up a meeting. That's happened with me a lot. As a future meeting increases the chance of making a sale, right? So there are a few things that you need to remember when setting up a meeting. Please make sure that you're offering value. You need to offer a reason for the meeting, such as the information, or a free estimate, etc. You also have to be very accommodating. You need to agree to the time and the venue that the lead prefers. You cannot impose your own time and venue on them. And the meeting does not have to be immediate or in person. The point is just to set the time and the date. Okay? And just keep trying. That's the third thing you should do. If a lead refuses to set a meeting, revisit the question when following up. Like, oh, in our last conversation, you said you were ready to set a meeting. I just haven't seen that you have set one. I'm trying to remind you. And then you can mention the value again that they could get out of just meeting and speaking with you regarding that service that can solve their problem. All right. Okay. So we keep going.